Hey guys, so welcome back to Bama Girls Cafe. Today we're going to be making a scrumptious lemon pound cake. Now as you guys know, I did a pound cake when I first started on YouTube. It was the 7-Up pound cake, and that thing has gotten over like 8,000 views. So I'm guessing people in this country and other country like pound cakes. So I decided to go ahead and bless you guys with another one of my favorite pound cake recipes. This cake is so delicious. It is full of lemon freshness, lemon zest, lemon juice. This cake is delicious. It's got buttermilk, y'all. Buttermilk. So you know it's about to go down up in here at Bama Girls Cafe. So the first thing we're going to do is go through the ingredients we're going to use. Now this recipe is 3 parts. We're also going to be cooking a simple syrup, and that's going to lock in all the sweetness and the moistness of the cake. So we're going to do that after we get the cake batter started up. And that recipe is going to consist of sugar, water, and lemon juice. And we're going to do a glaze to go on top of the cake after we do that. But the ingredients for the cake is going to be flour, some sugar, butter. You're going to need some salt, some baking powder, baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. You're going to need some buttermilk, eggs, lots of lemon, vanilla extract. You're going to need a zester, and you're going to need 1 bowl to zest in, and you're going to need another bowl to, drain your lemons. You're going to need a nice sturdy bundt pan, and you're also going to need my favorite, because I don't believe in buttering and flouring pans no more, y'all. You're going to need this stuff right here, okay? You're going to definitely need you some baked joy. And you're going to need a stand mixer. You can do this recipe with a hand mixer, but I prefer the stand mixer because it really gets all the lumps out of it and combines it together really nice. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get set up, and we'll be back to get started on this video. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put not the sugar, put the butter in to the mixer. And you're going to need a cup of butter. And yes, a cup of butter, honey. A whole bunch of love. And then you're going to need to go ahead and add in some sugar. Now, I'm not going to turn that on right now because I need you guys to see one step that is very important. So the first thing we're going to do is, let me move this out of the way so you guys can get a good view. We are going to zest a whole lemon. Now what you want to do is just take your lemon and wipe it off with a damp paper towel. Let it dry because it's going to be hard to grate if it's still wet. So I've already started grating some of the lemon zest. So you just want to take it and you want to rotate it because you want to make sure that you're getting the skin. You do not want the white part to get into it because it will make the cake very bitter. So you just want to turn it and keep zesting. And try to zest on those parts where you still see the skin of the lemon. And it smells so good. So what I do when I have extra leftover lemons or any type of citrus, I take it and I chop it up really small, and I take some baking soda and the lemon skins or whatever is left over, and I throw it into the garbage disposal. Makes the house smell really good and clean, and sanitizes your garbage disposal. So we're going to just keep zesting these parts that still have skin on them, because you're going to need a lot of lemon zest and lemon juice for this recipe. Now you want to make sure you have a good zester when you are zesting lemons, because if you don't, it will make the process a lot harder. Or anytime you're zesting limes. And this one right here, I got it at Bed Bath & Beyond about a year ago. And I tell you what, it's been one of my best investments that I've made in far as like little kitchen gadgets. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just tap that into the bowl. Take the back side of the knife and just scrape all the rest of that off, because you don't want to lose any of that zest, because this is a very important part of the cake. Because you will not be using, only extract you will be using is vanilla extract. And no imitation vanilla. Okay, so we've got that scraped off. We're going to go ahead and put that to the side. We're going to take this lemon and we're going to cut it in half. And then we're going to squeeze all of the juices out of it. Turn it upside down. Place it in there. And just squeeze, honey, squeeze. So there we go. And we have all of our lemons zested and squeezed. Squeeze. Alright. So now that we have that done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start letting the sugar and the buttercream. Then we're going to go ahead and take our dry ingredients and we're going to mix them in together. So we're going to take the salt and the baking powder. Baking soda, you guys. Sorry, baking soda. And we're going to just give that a good whisk around. Set that to the side. And then we're just going to go ahead and let the let the sugar and the buttercream for about 5 minutes. And then we'll be back and we'll finish putting this cake together and get it ready to go into the oven. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and turn this off and we're going to go ahead and scrape down the side of the bowl. And we're going to let this mix another minute or so. And you just want to scrape it down and make sure you get the bottom of the bowl because you want to make sure that this sugar starts to look really fluffy and aerated with the butter. So now we're going to just turn it back on for a minute and then I'm going to show you guys how to put the eggs in one at a time. Guys, so we're back and we're going to turn the mixer on low and we're going to put in 1 egg at a time. I'm so horrible at this, y'all. I can never get 1 egg in at a time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop it and I'm going to scrape down the side of the bowl really, really quick so that the egg and the sugar can get incorporated together before I add in the second one, because that is a very important part when you are making a pound cake. Okay. Whoop. Sugar flying everywhere. Alright, let's go ahead and let that mix in a little bit more. Alright, we're going to add in the second egg. And now we're going to add in the third one. And we're going to let this mix for about 2 minutes until it gets really fluffy. Alright guys, as you can see now, the butter, the sugar, and the eggs have all been incorporated into the mix, and it is smooth, light, and fluffy. And this is what it's supposed to look like once you get the sugar, the eggs, and the butter all combined together. So if your mixture does not look like this, then you want to keep mixing it a little longer until you get it light and fluffy. Alright, so we already have our dry ingredients already mixed together. This is the sugar, this is the salt, the baking soda, and the flour. So we already have that combined. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this cup of buttermilk. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of the lemon zest. And we're going to go ahead and add in there the buttermilk. And then we're going to set that to the side because you're going to need that for the simple syrup and the glaze. And then you want to take 2 tablespoons of the lemon juice and you want to put it in there. And then you want to go ahead and add in the vanilla. So I'm just going to take this and just give this a good mix up. Set that to the side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start by pouring in. We're going to be alternating between the flour and the wet. The dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm country. Don't judge me. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start by pouring some of the flour in here. And then we're going to turn the mixer on. And we're going to start to let it mix. And then we're going to add in some of the wet ingredients. It smells so good, y'all. Fresh lemon is like the best thing you can do for a cake that calls for like lemon extract. I know there's some places you have to use lemon extract, but you can get some fresh lemon zest and some fresh lemon juice up in there. That cake will be banging from left to right, okay? There's no substitution for the real thing, okay? So we're gonna stop this, lift it up again. We're gonna add in some more of that flour. Turn my pedal back a little bit. We're gonna add in some more of the wet. We're gonna get a little, let that mix up a little bit. Ooh. Excuse me. Turn my mixer up a little bit too high. Alright guys, so we've got that mixed in. We're going to turn it off, and then we're going to add in the rest of the flour and the rest of the buttermilk and the lemon zest and the vanilla, and we're just going to try to get all that out of there because you don't want to leave nothing hanging around. And we're going to just let this go ahead and mix up. Scrape off my little spatula. I'm going to go ahead and let this mix up for about 3 minutes. And I'm going to bring it over the camera over so you guys can see what the mix is supposed to look like before you go ahead and get ready to put it in the bundt pan. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take my bundt pan and I'm going to go ahead and spray it. And you want to be very generous with this spray because you want this cake to slide out and look pretty when it falls out of the pan, okay? Oh, I can't get it open. But yeah, so I just like to take my pan and tilt it up like this and then just spin it around on my hand when I'm spraying. And I do this so that I can make sure that I get this center part. A lot of people have problems getting their bundt cakes out of the pan, and that's because they don't make sure they get the center part, the core part, greased and oiled up and floured up right. So you really want to make sure that you get this part, and this will also help in the releasing of the pan. And sometimes our cakes tend to fluff up a little bit more than what we expect. So what you want to do is just make sure that you get some of that spray around the rim of the pan too. And that will just help a lot with getting your cakes out. Because I had someone comment on the other pound cake video, how do I get my cake out without it, you know, getting stuck to the pan? You want to make sure that you spray your pan really well, and you never want to leave your cake in the bundt pan longer than 3 minutes after you take it out of the oven, because it will start to stick to the pan and that will make it very difficult to get out without tearing up your cake. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let this finish mixing up, and I'll see you guys back here in a second. Alright guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut the mixer off. Oops, sorry, my bad y'all. And as you can see, this is what the consistency of the cake should look like. But what I want to do is I want us to just go in and scrape down those sides and make sure you get down in the bottom of the pan, the mixer, so that if there's anything that didn't get mixed in really well, you can go ahead and bring it up into the batter, and then that will help it to mix together completely. So I'm just going to go ahead and scrape all the excess off. And then we're going to let this mix up, but this is for about another minute. But this is what your batter should look like. This is what the consistency of it should look like. And you see all that lemon zest on there? We're going to scrape this down and get all that lemon zest off so that we can make sure it gets into the cake, because it will stick to the pedal. Because that's the most important part of the cake, is that lemon zest. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just let this finish mixing up. And then we're going to go ahead and get ready to put it into the bundt pan. Alright guys, so our cake is done mixing up, honey. And it smells delicious. Yes. I'm so proud of myself. Pat on the back. Chin up. But, let's go ahead and get this disassembled. Oh Lord, what am I handling? Y'all know I'm short, right? The struggle is real. Alright, so we're gonna just go ahead and get all the excess batter off. Don't leave nothing behind. Don't you see those cooking shows when they leave stuff in the bowl and you're like, but why? That's an extra bite. I'm one of those type of people. Like, I like to clean the bowl. Alright. Give it a nice good whirl around. And now we're going to just go ahead and start pouring this into the bundt pan. And then you kind of just want to turn your pan a little bit. Oh my God, if y'all could smell the lemon in this thing, child, this your grandmama kind of good cake. Turn it around, shift it a little bit more. So if you guys are wondering why I'm making this delicious cake, I'm going to have some lovely guests tonight that are coming over, and she likes pound cake. So I decided to make her this special lemon pound cake, because I believe when I have dinner guests, give them something they like, you know, and make them feel special. And I love entertaining at my house and having people over for dinner. Doesn't happen often, but I actually love it. I absolutely love it. Now you just want to give your bundt cake a shake. Had a little bit of it go through the strainer, but it's all good. Get that cleaned up. And you just want to give it a shake. And then you want to mix it around on the counter to kind of like get all the air bubbles out of it, because that's going to be very, very important. And that's pretty much it. And we're going to go ahead and pop this into the oven at 325. And I'll see you guys as soon as the cake is done. Well, I'll be back in a second because we got to make the simple serve. But, you know, on YouTube time, a second is like 30 minutes, really, I guess. So maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, really? Okay. But, yeah, I just going in the oven at 325. So I'll see y'all guys back here in a little bit. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and get started with our simple serve. So you're going to go ahead and add in some water, sugar, and you're going to add in 2 tablespoons of lemon zest. I mean lemon juice, not lemon zest. I'm going to add a little bit more, make it a little bit more tangier. And you just want to let this come to a little bit of a boil, and let the sugar break down. You want to let the sugar break down and make a simple serve. Basically, you're making a simple serve. So this is going to take a few minutes, and we're just going to keep stirring it. And let that sugar dissolve. So, I'm going to push this to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and get ready to get our bundt cake out. So what I'm going to do is grab this cookie tray right here. And then I'm going to grab two of these, because mine are really, really thin. So I'm going to grab 2 of these racks. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my cake over so you guys can see it. And it's all nice and done and it's golden. And we're gonna go ahead and get it out of the pan. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna place these racks on top of the pan. And we're gonna flip it upside down for an easy release. So I'm gonna slide this, oops. Y'all, and this part is really important because this cake is super, super hot. And we're gonna place it in there, wiggle it around, da-da! There is your pound cake. So we're gonna just let this chill out for a second and cool down. And it is perfect. I'm just gonna give it a simple stir. You know, just keep stirring it until all that sugar is dissolved. And as soon as we get the sugar dissolved, the simple stir, we're gonna go ahead and we're going to base the pound cake. Now we're gonna do this part because this is gonna help to seal in the moistureness in this cake and keep it nice and moist, and it's gonna help the cake to firm up too before we go ahead and place the glaze on it. So the rest of this lemon zest that we have right here, and this lemon juice is going to go into the glaze, and this is going to be oh so tasty. If you guys hear something in the background, I'm sorry. As you guys can see, I have a pot on the stove. I am making a homemade lasagna. And later on in the year, I'm going to do this recipe for you guys, but it's called heart attack lasagna. But I kind of have a lot going on today. So if you hear popping and stuff moving around, that's because I got stuff on the stove cooking. So please forgive me, I'm multitasking today. Alright guys, so our simple syrup is done. And I'm just going to let that cool down for a minute. So I'm going to transfer that into a glass bowl. And let it cool down for a few seconds. Put that to the side. I'm going to let the cake cool down for about 3 minutes. And then we will be back to go ahead and add this on here. I'm going to let the cake cool for another 10 to 15 minutes. And then we're going to add the glaze on top. So I'll see you guys back here in a second. Alright honeys, we's back. I'm sorry y'all. Okay, we're back. So now we're going to take the simple syrup and we're going to just baste it all over the cake. And this is going to keep the moisture in it and the cake, keep it all moist and yummy. And this cake is smelling so good. Y'all, I wish we had smell-o-vision, smell-computer-ish, whatever. Because this cake smells so delicious with this lemon, fresh lemon going all through up in there. I just don't even know how to describe it, y'all. But this is basically just to seal everything in and keep it moist. Now, if you have like a layer cake that you're doing, and you think the cake may get dry, like say if you have to make a cake like a day or two out, you can also use this method too, but you just need to use the simple syrup. Or you can use like sugar water and like some type of brandy or something that goes along with the flavor of the cake, and that will definitely help keep the cake moist. Like sometimes I'll use cognac if I'm doing a layer cake that has butter pecans and I want to do a simple syrup to keep the cake really moist, because sometimes those cakes tend to get really dry after a couple days and you want to keep it fresh. I usually just do a simple syrup and add in cognac. And this is perfect. I just got a couple spots that I just want to hit that I see that really didn't get any of the simple syrup, and that's usually around the bottom. Y'all, this smells heavenly, heavenly, sent from heaven. I'm sorry. Alright, so we're gonna let this sit for a second, and then We're gonna put it on a nice little plate, and then we're gonna drizzle some, you know, confectioner's sugar, and take some confectioner's sugar, some of this lemon juice that's left over, some of this lemon zest, and we're going to make a glaze. But we need to let this cool all the way down. Do you hear me, guys? All the way down. And then we're gonna, you know, make it all pretty. So I'll see you guys back here in a second. Hey guys, so I'm back and the cake has cooled. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to gently ease it onto this plate. We're gonna put that to the side. And we're gonna push this over here. And we're going to take the rest of this lemon zest and we're going to pour about a little bit more than a cup. I say anywhere from a cup to a cup and a half of confectioner's sugar in the bowl with the lemon zest. And then we're going to start off by spooning in a tablespoon of the lemon juice. And you want to be careful when you're putting the lemon juice in here because you don't want it to get too runny. You want it to be thick and creamy. So we're going to go ahead and add another one in there. Because it really doesn't take a lot to get the glaze to come together. And it's going to start to clump up a little bit, but that is fine. It's already starting to come together. Oops, losing my sugar. Don't lose your sugar, man. So I really enjoyed doing this recipe, y'all. All the smell of the lemon. It's good. Alright, so if you guys can see, it's starting to come together. Now it's starting to get sticky. Ooh. I'm just going to put a little bit more of that glaze in there. I mean that lemon juice. And this is the part that's really hard because it gets really stiff. If y'all could smell these lemons, oh my God. Now this one is going to be a little lumpy, and the reason it's going to look lumpy is because you have to remember, oops, you have the lemon zest in here. So you just want to keep beating it until you get it as smooth as you want it. And try to get as many of the lumps out as possible. But remember, it's going to look a little lumpy because you have the lemon zest in there. And this is what's going to just seal the deal. So I think I'm going to add just a tiny bit more lemon juice in there. Just a little bit more. To just thin it out a little bit. Now some people like their glaze really white where you can see it, and some people like theirs kind of transparent. I like to go for something a little bit in between. And that's what the consistency of it should be. That smells divine. Delicious. Alright, you guys. So now we've gotten that together. You can use the rest of that lemon juice in some sweet tea. Or you can put it to the side and save it. It'll hold for about 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just start spooning the glaze on the cake. So you guys can get a good view of it. And I must tell you guys, this cake is so delicious. Just the way the recipe is created with the amount of fresh lemon that goes into it, you cannot go wrong with this recipe. Especially if you're looking for like a lemony pound cake. Oh my God, y'all. This would be it. Next to the 7-Up pound cake, this is my favorite pound cake. And the butter pecan pound cake and the black walnut. I got a lot of pound cakes that I like, y'all. Okay, don't judge me. Y'all, this is divine. This is just straight up all goodness, delicious. It don't make no sense. Oh my God. I think I'm having a food gasm just looking at this cake. Oh my God. The lemon is like popping from left to right on this cake, y'all. Like, oh God. Alright guys, so we are done. And this is the lemon pound cake that I'm going to be serving tonight. I'm going to take a little slice out of it, but I need to let it sit so that the icing can kind of like sit for a second. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like. And then I'm going to put the rest of it up, God bless my heart, for my guests tonight. So I'll see you guys back here in a second. Alright, loves. So we are done with this cake and it smells so delicious. So I'm just going to cut a small piece out. Ooh, it's so moist. Ooh. I'm having a food gasm. Don't judge me. Y'all, it cut like butter. Whew. Cha. Oh my God. It's so moist. Get all the crumbs out of it. Just get. That is so lemony, y'all. So y'all can see I cut a little slice. So now we're gonna do a little taste. Just see how it tastes. I already know how it tastes, but I'm gonna taste it for y'all. You know, I'm gonna taste it for y'all. Jesus, big shield. This cake is so delicious. It's so lemony. It's so sweet. It's not too sweet. The acidity of the lemon just makes it do something very delicious in your mouth. Holy Jesus. I remember why I don't make this cake a lot, because this is the type of pound cake that you will eat the whole thing. You don't need ice cream. You don't need no milk. You don't need nothing. This cake will just satisfy all of your taste buds. If you're one of those people who like lemon heads or really lemony cake, this is definitely the recipe for y'all. Oh, I just ate a little piece of it and it was just singing to me. Oh, Jesus. Whew. I'm about to mess my lipstick up. This is so delicious, y'all. I wish you guys could taste it with me. Whew, Jesus. This is what a lemon pound cake, a lemon cake should taste like. It shouldn't taste any different than this. See, when I start leaning like this is my fat growing. You know, it is the bomb. It is delicious. So, tapping my wig, it's so good, girl. Oh my God. Slap your mama and your grandmama good. And if you got a mammy, slap her too. Woo. Well, you guys, this is it. I really enjoyed doing this video. I'm so happy to be hanging out with you guys here in 2017. I love you all. I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Remember, treat people the way you want to be treated. Remember that food is love. I love you guys. Keep God first and treat people the way you want to be treated. But right now, I'm about to treat myself to this cake. So I'll see y'all later. Ooh. That's okay, y'all. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna stay here and eat. Holla at you.